Welcome to part 2 to the Guyver series. Now, like I said, this is a little tad over 2 pounds later. So basically what I went ahead and did is looked at my model and went ahead and did with strips of clay. Now what I found is the easiest for me, may not be the easiest for you, but these are 1/4 pound blocks. I snap them in two. They're a lot easier to manage as far as size and be able to roll them quickly, because you do want to break up the clay a bit, because it does some of them, if you press, they're actually almost kind of like in layers. So like right there, that starts to break there. That's really annoying when you're trying to rub it out. So you take half the stick and you make a roll of clay that's easier to manage. It's already compressed, and then you just go ahead and, like, back here, because of the shape of the Guyvers, they've got that nice round back to the back of the head. So you basically go ahead and start applying clay like this, following the amount. Like, I'll do rings, and then I'll build up on that. I'll fill the gap in between. Just that way it gives me a step, at least an idea or a gauge to see how deep the clay is compared to the contact with the clay model underneath. Now, because I don't have a whole lot of clay buildup, especially this area, this is technically the back of my head. There's no additional clay buildup right there. So I'm looking at, like 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick of clay on top of that. Now that's going to get a little bit bigger, maybe another 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch, just to finish off the roundness of the back of the helmet. But initially, that's the kind of idea you have to have a look at. And the big thing is here is the sides are going to get just a good bit deeper, because right here, that's the part that needs to fit at the jawline. So the jawline's going to be out a bit bigger, and there's going to be a bit of a squeeze, because you can't make the jawline, the underneath of the helmet, too big. If it, just ends up rattling around. But it will be a lot bigger than it is right now. Besides, I haven't even built up the neck, so this is giving me a really odd gauge as far as the size of the neck. Like, it's about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches off in diameter. So it's going to get built up almost the same size as the base, and that's going to give me a better idea as far as to how wide to make the bottom of the jaw, because the crown of the head's got to be able to fit through this thing. Right now, you can see there's no way it's going to fit, but this gives me a reference point as far as to where I am at and how much clay I'm going to need to build up additionally. So this overall helmet's going to get bigger, obviously. So the sides, it's going to be a good, it's almost going to be 1 inch thicker all the way around, just to be able to accommodate the crown. So, and you look at your model. I take little rolls of clay, like I'll take a piece like this, roll something nice and small, and I'll start going in and doing the like just the outsides where it starts to where it's flat and starts to rise away from the face. That's what these are for. Basically, it'll give me an idea for height, and once I'm happy with the outside dimensions like that, then I can start filling in, because it's a lot of work to fill the whole thing in and then have to add to that again. It's a lot easier just to go take like almost like a skeleton like this, and get my dimensions and all that, and then build up on it, because it's so much easier. The horn doesn't go till almost the end as far as when the build-up's done on this, because it's acrylic and I have to custom cut that, and I will show you how to do that. I use acrylic because, well, the stuff I came across was free and I had lots of it, and it does so much better job as far as holding the clay in place and being able to have sharper features on the horn, rather than using like coat hangers and like that, like build up underneath, because they tend to move a lot more. For clay, you can make some nice, good, like 1-inch long teeth on it, dig it right into the clay, and then build on over top of that. My Guyver 1 helmet's a great example of that. The horn looks really good. The tip's the hardest thing to make happen.